Hey, it's Jacob. Welcome to this new video. And today I wanted to talk about an engineering secret. And it's not going to make engineers look good, and that's the reason why people don't talk about it. But I wanted to talk about it because I don't care, and I want to provide value. So this is really a secret that is going to help you move forward a lot faster because it is something that a lot of people are kind of like a little bit of ashamed about when they realize like, oh, that's what's happening, that's really what it is. And then it's like, oh, I did all of that for nothing because they have like basically their background is not going to be useful that as much as you think. If you think like you need to learn a lot about like the different types of things that you want to learn in order to create things or actually like work for somebody in order to do those things, you're wrong. And that's where I want to get to. Like, so let me clear that up. And basically the training that you had is how to say that the training is not useful. That's the secret. So let me emphasize this one. And oops, sorry. So yeah, the training that as an engineer, formal training about math and all that background and programming and all of that, it is not that useful. And you realize that when you start working because it's like they're asking you about things that are completely new. Like you're gonna have to solve problems that you've never seen before because in the academic world, like they have like weird, you know, the problems that the academics are showing you are problems for them because those are things that maybe they used to learn when they were younger, or maybe those are problems they are working on as a researcher because some of the teachers are also researching, so they're also doing research. But like in the real world, in the practical world, when people are paying you to do things, they are paying you to solve problems, and those problems, they have nothing to do with what those people are talking about. And so you're basically going to like going to have to figure it out like by yourself and start over from scratch. You're not going to use your training in order to solve those problems. So that is, or maybe like it's going to be 1% of it, or 10% or whatever. It's not going to be like 50%. That doesn't happen unless you have like a very, very weird job where you are, I don't know, maybe a researcher inside a company, which is extremely, extremely rare. Even if you have let's say a PhD or something, most people with PhD, they end up doing what I'm talking about, which is like solving actual problems that people have, because that's what we are being paid for as engineers. So why am I talking about all of that? It is so that you understand that if you don't have a training, then it is you have an advantage. Why do you have an advantage? Because you're not going to try to use the training in order to solve the problems that you have. You're going to be clear-minded about the problem, and you are going to have a different approach, and most likely it's going to work better, because that's kind of like what engineers are doing. They try to apply their training in order to make it useful for the problem. But in the real world, like there are tons of things, tons of real problems and tons of products that you can create that don't require that much or any of the training that engineers have. So this is something that basically I want to get to. So let me clear that up. And the one thing that you want to do is trial and error. And that the second secret that I want to talk about. And it's just like basically it's the same thing, right? It's like because the training is not needed, there is something else that is needed instead in order to solve the problem. And what is the thing? It's trial and error. Like that's the thing that people are doing, and that's how people actually solve problems. But the thing is, you don't need anything in order to try things. You don't need to have a background in order to try stuff. And in fact, like usually, again, like that's counterproductive to try to apply the methods that you've learned as an engineer that took like, I don't know, 5 years in order to learn those things. And this is going to be counterproductive because you're going to try things that you that are just not going to work. But like if you have like if you're clear minded and you're open minded about like the type of problems that you have, and you just try things based on the problem, not based on your knowledge, then you're gonna go like you're gonna just move 10 times faster. But if people don't talk about that, and if people like pretend that this is not what's happening and that their background is actually useful, then it's gonna lead you astray. And again, they have an incentive to do that because you're not you don't look good when you're telling people, well, everything that I worked for, I'm just not using it. Like it was kind of worthless in a way. It was not necessarily worthless because it got you the degree that you can sell to employees in order to get to get into the company. So that is that's the point of doing of education. But like people sometimes they are not necessarily like honest about it and honest with themselves about it, right? Like they keep thinking, well, that was useful, and the truth is it's not. And so this is just the point that I'm trying to make, so that you don't make that mistake of believing that, oh, you need some type of background, you need some type of like training. You don't really. There are a lot of things that you learn with experience, but that comes like with the job once you are there. And that's the type of things that I want to talk to you about. That's what all of the videos that I want to create are going to be about. But it's not going to be about the formal training that you need prior to that. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope it was helpful. And if you want to be part of my contact, you can click on the link in the description, and you'll get free exclusive content from me. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.